15 Things You Should Never Do in China. The People's Republic of China is a country in East Asia, and is the world's most populous country, with over 1.5 billion people. There is so much to see, experience, and enjoy in China, but visiting foreigners should be aware that there are also some things that must not be done in China. It is best to do your research before visiting the country. Hopefully, this list of things that you must not do in China will help prepare you. Number 1. Don't expect to get a visa upon arrival. Remember that you have to get a visa to China before you travel. Some tourists fail to do this and are turned away and not allowed entry. You have to visit the Chinese consulate in your country to request for a tourist visa for China. Several documents will be needed. You may be required to present a letter of invitation from a Chinese resident, friend, or relative. If not, an itinerary of your trip. Number 2. Don't think your credit card will always be accepted. Even though China is very technologically advanced, some places just don't accept credit cards, particularly foreign ones. Most Chinese people do not use credit cards. Cash is still king in China, and not just any kind of cash. They only recognize and accept the yuan, otherwise known as RMB. Number 3. Never underestimate crime. Don't flaunt your wealth, like wearing jewelry or exposing a lot of cash. You will most likely tempt somebody. Protect your belongings as well. Make sure you keep your eye on them constantly. A little lapse may be all a thief would need to relieve you of your stuff. Number 4. Never talk about politics and other sensitive stuff. Again, always remember that China is a communist state. They have different rules from what we are normally used to. Discussing politics, religion, territorial conflicts, and state leaders will not be appreciated. It is common sense not to discuss sensitive issues with a local. Number 5. Don't disrespect temples and minority groups. Temples are places of worship, and they have to be respected. There are rules to visiting temples, so that best you do your research. Always remove your shoes before entering, and never touch the Buddha figures inside. Also do not underdress. Sleeveless tops and shorts are frowned upon. Be polite, and never be noisy. Number 6. Don't expect all places to have toilet paper. Upscale hotels will have toilet paper in their bathrooms, but other places may not. Restaurants, supermarkets, train stations, and other public toilets will most likely not have any. Best to bring your own with you, especially traveling to places outside the big cities. You may also want to bring along a hand sanitizer. While the bathrooms may have running water, sanitizer or hand soap may not be available. Number 7. Don't drink tap water. Most travelers rely on bottled water rather than tap water. Make this a priority in China. Tap water is not safe for consumption, though some poverty-stricken areas have no choice. But you have, so make sure to always have bottled water. However, buying from street vendors does not assure you that the water is safe. Always make sure you have enough water supply when traveling long distances. Number 8. Don't expect English to always be understood. Most Chinese do not understand English, or other foreign languages. Those who can speak English, don't speak it well enough, and it may be difficult to understand them. Mandarin is their national language, which is different from Cantonese, Hong Kong, or Hokkien, Taiwan. Google Translate is also quite useful. Make sure you install it in your devices before you visit China. Number 9. Don't expect to get online without a VPN. Don't expect access to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or other websites while you are in China. The country has their own versions of these, but it will do you no good. But you can get a VPN before you arrive in China to be able to access your favorite websites. Also, don't rely too much on Wi-Fi. Buy a local SIM card, a 6 GB should do. Number 10. Don't use unlicensed transportation. Upon arrival at the airport, you may notice runners escorting you to a vehicle for use to your hotel. Most of these are unlicensed and illegal. Not only that, they will surely overcharge you. Plus they most likely don't speak any English. Number 11. Do not be surprised by bad pollution levels. Pollution is a real problem in China, particularly the big cities. There is even a site and newspaper dedicated to information about the pollution, like when would be the best time to go outdoors. You will notice most locals wear surgical masks to protect themselves from the smog. Take the pollution seriously, particularly if you have any breathing impairments or allergies. Number 12. Never underestimate road safety and traffic. Always be careful wherever you go, particularly in China. Crossing the street may be life-threatening as drivers do not follow traffic rules and laws. And they are particularly reckless. This includes motorcycles and bikes. Most Chinese drivers do not care about pedestrian safety, and you will not have the right of way. So do be careful, and look both ways when crossing. Number 13. Do not forget the importance of gifts. Locals in China have a habit of frequently exchanging gifts, and not just for special occasions. It is best to be prepared to avoid embarrassing situations. Never show up empty-handed when invited to a home. Even a small token gift will be much appreciated. It shows gratitude for the invitation, and will be expected by your host. Number 14. Don't expect accommodations to always allow foreigners. This may surprise most of us, but some local hotels and B&Bs do not cater to foreigners. This has nothing to do with them being rude and indifferent, it's just some places have weird but strict government regulations. Even some areas in Beijing and Shanghai follow this regulation. Some will accept online bookings, but walk-ins are not allowed. So, always book accommodations ahead of your visit. Number 15. Don't go out without a copy of your passport. It is best to keep your original passport in the hotel safe if they have one. But have a photocopy, best if colored, with you at all times. Most train stations will require this of you if you want to travel to another city or town. Also, authorities may ask you for identification should they want to. Just make sure you don't lose your passport. It will really be a problem, being that China is a communist state.